Raw milk, what you don't know. This wasn't about germs, it was about control. And let me start with this. It's not ethical to tell anyone they should or shouldn't drink milk, because food is cultural and bio-individual. It's ancestral genetics. Some people thrive on milk and others don't, but what everyone deserves is the right to choose. So how did raw milk become the villain? Let's go back to 1946, when Victor Rothschild pushed for mandatory pasteurization. He wasn't a doctor, he wasn't a farmer, he was a banker. Why would a banker care about raw milk laws? Because milk is the second most consumed substance on Earth after water. Control milk, control food, control people. Pasteurization required expensive machinery. Small farms couldn't afford it. They were pushed out. Bankers backed the infrastructure and distribution networks. So corporate dairy took over. And just like that, an industry was born. Every dairy product you buy today, cheese, yogurt, infant formulas, pays royalties to a system that replaced your local farmer. It's the same playbook used in banking, pharma, and agriculture. Create regulation, make it mandatory, crush the competition, own the supply chain. Just like 2020, forcing small businesses to shut down. But to justify pasteurized milk, they needed a narrative. And that's where germ theory came in. Germ theory says you get sick from invisible invaders outside of you. Terrain theory says you get sick when your body's internal terrain is toxic, depleted, or imbalanced. Here's the flaw that no one talks about with germ theory. Healthy people and sick people carry the same germs. It's not the germ, it's the terrain of the body. This fear of germs was weaponized, and it wasn't just about milk. Back in 1910, the Flexner Report, funded by Rockefeller and Carnegie, shut down natural healing schools across the U.S. They replaced nutrition, herbs, midwifery, energy medicine, and even prescribed sunshine and hospital sun decks with pharmaceutical-only models. Licensing, education, and treatment all became locked under one umbrella. Pasteurization laws and germ theory fear is how full food and healthcare control started. Contamination doesn't come from milk. It comes from infected udders, dirty milking practices, poor storage. Clean raw milk, it's safe. In fact, raw milk is legal and regulated in many parts of Europe, Africa, and Asia. So why don't they get sick? Because it was never about the milk. It was about fear. And fear builds dependence. Now let's talk biology. Look under a microscope. Raw milk looks like blood, alive, structured, enzymatically active. Pasteurized milk is sterile, stripped, dead chemistry. That's not safety. That's a death of living nutrition. And finally, the cultural truth. Some of the tallest, strongest, and most resilient people on Earth thrived on raw milk. The Maasai of Kenya, the Dinka of South Sudan, Mongol herders, Andean highlanders. So blanket recommendations like milk is bad for you ignores bio-individuality, ancestry, environment, and your terrain. Living food became chemical formula. Medicine became monopoly. Choice became contraband. They didn't ban raw milk to protect you. They banned it to control you.